Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Ranking and Explaining. Today we're going to be talking about everything Apex Legends Season 2, including the new legend Wattson, the new weapons coming out, of course the new changes to loadouts and attachments that we might be getting, in a preview of what is to come in the Season 2 Battle Pass, also a new patch that is just launched today, going live to fix some of the issues that had happened in the previous patch, which removed bunny hopping and all those things. Stay tuned, this is a video you do not want to miss. After watching it, my goal is you will know everything you absolutely need to know until Season 2 drops, and basically be caught up on my opinions and impressions of what Respawn has done to elevate and bring Apex Legends back into the forefront of so many gamers' minds. Now, there are 5 huge things that you need to know about Apex Legends Season 2, and we will cover them in order, getting to Wattson, the brand new character, very soon. But the first thing I want to talk about is the new patch that launched today. Now, this patch went live, and it's basically just a little bit of a I'd say a cleanup patch for something that happened before. There are a few exploits that got fixed. There's also a bug where Caustic knocks gas traps would damage players through walls, and there was an exploit where you could repeatedly place those Nox gas traps with no cooldown. They also fixed an issue with the nerfed skydiving from a jump tower. They also fixed a big issue with the decreased accuracy when aiming down sights and sliding. There was a huge issue with that. There's also a couple of audio bugs related to Octane's jump pad. Essentially all clean up fixes. So that should do to catch you up on what they've changed in the patch. If you did not see beforehand, they had removed bunny hopping and healing, which is a high level tool. If you haven't played Apex Legends before, it's just a way that players were able to move while also healing at an extremely fast rate, when typically for a lot of players you just had to kind of walk and crawl while moving as your best defensive utility. It definitely was a high skill cap thing, but it was not intended and it was removed. And now getting into the best part of the video, guys. It's Battle Charge. We've been waiting so long for Season 2, and Respawn answered our prayers. At EA Play over E3, they announced everything coming in Season 2, and the name is called Battle Charge. This will start the new season, and what they've also told us is that every season they will front load a lot of stuff. So expect kind of these dry patches where they're doing balance fixes and things in between, and when a new season hits, new weapon, new legend, etc., etc. Let's get into it. First off, the date it starts is the 2nd of July, which I'm really excited about. That's not too long away. That's only about 3 weeks out, so that should give you plenty of time to grind up and get ready, get your skills back if you did take a break. And the biggest thing that's coming is the new legend, Wattson. Now, she changes everything. Wattson is another support type legend, and I want to talk about her abilities. If you haven't seen the opening video for EA Play, go ahead and do yourself a favor and watch it. It hits you right in the feels, and it is honestly a great showcase of how Natalie Wattson, Paquette, the daughter of the creator of the ring, grew up. Now that's right, her history is being the creator of this actual Apex Legends ring. Her and her father were the ones who kind of designed it, and she grew up in the arena helping him. She's a genius with a heart of gold who has every intention to do well, and everyone actually really loves her. Caustic even respects her, and you know, that's something for Caustic. What she does is she brings that utility and that kind of thought-provoking style to a legend for the first time in the game. Now, unlike a lot of characters where they have these kind of abilities that either give them insane mobility or, you know, insanely beneficial just base stats like healing faster, like we have as a passive for the lifeline, what she brings is an ultimate accelerant adjustment that makes your ultimate excels worthwhile on somebody else than a freaking lifeline. Thank goodness. When you use an ultimate accelerant on her, they fully charge her ultimate. Now that is a really big deal, and it's going to change the way that you carry around your inventory. This is a really cool use because it also changes the way that you go throughout the game. It puts priority on different items. I don't know why I said priority, really funny. And I think that's a really great thing that she brings. It's called Spark of Genius. Her active ability is called Perimeter Security. Now you connect nodes to create electrified fences that damage and slow enemies. I don't think the damage numbers have been revealed yet, but this is essentially as it says. You're creating a perimeter that you know when players pass through can give you intel throughout the map, and you have an incredible amount of flexibility on it. Guys, this is really important because what they talked about is that Natalie needs to be a very intelligent and also an open-minded, kind of an open book, so to speak, to where you can write your own style of play with her. With these 12 nodes, and she carries 4 nodes which refill over time, you're able to kind of set up a defense that is based on the situation. It's going to depend on your intelligence, your ability to set things up, just like Natalie as a genius would be doing in her character. So I think it really helps embody who she is as a stylistic character, what choices she would make if actually on the battlefield fighting for her life after growing up in the ring, how she would use her intelligence to actually maneuver around the battle and make sure that her teammates are safe, protected, and have the edge in a fight. Enemies going through the electrical fences do warn you and your teammates, and that provides situational awareness, but also your teammates can run through it, and there will be a brief pause, which I'm assuming enemies, if they're close enough, can follow through, where they won't be hurt. It's all shown in the video here, so you guys can be checking that out. It's really, really cool. Now, the ultimate ability is called Interception Pylon. This places an electrified pylon that destroys incoming ordnance and repairs damaged shields as long as it stands. So what does this mean? Okay, it means if grenades are being thrown at you, this thing is going to shoot it down from the sky. You know that stuff where you think, oh, if there's a nuclear war and the missiles are coming, we have kind of like anti-defense systems to shoot them down in the air? That's basically what it is. This interception pylon intercepts damage that might be going into your area. There's a really cool element to it that I'll talk about in a second, but it blocks things like even bombardments from Gibraltar and Bangalore, so other ultimates will be countered by this as well. One of the coolest parts about it is ultimate accelerants completely charge it, so you can get it back immediately. 2, it stays permanently until destroyed, so they have to truly get in there and make sure that that thing goes down. Otherwise, they will not be able to reach you. And if you set up a perimeter outside of it, it can create a really good defensive area. And 3, you could place up to 3 of them. Pretty incredible stuff when you're able to get that. And I know a lot of people are already probably aware of these abilities by now, but I just think that this is a huge impact for how you're going to play Apex Legends. This is that cerebral player that's a little bit more, I think, effective being out. You don't have to caustic cerebral where you set up this trap and you're kind of inside and you're not really near the action. She's able to stop ults and grenades, for crying out loud. You could be out in the middle of a field and set up your area. So you could take that cerebral nature and feel like you've outsmarted your opponent, but you can also really still be aggressive or still be in the fight, which I think is a huge boon for everyone playing the game, and like a really nice niche for them to go after. You know, the ones who kind of want to think it and plan it, and yet they still want to be a little bit more aggressive. They don't just want to be a Bambi and hide in a house. That's Natalie Wattson. I'm sure I'll cover her in more in depth in a few other videos, but that's one of the biggest things in Season 2. Moving on to the third thing that we'll talk about in this video, the new gun, the L-Star. Now, this is an LMG. It has an experimental ammo type, and its magazine size is 60 rounds. There are 3 rounds of 60 in the gun, and the fire rate is full automatic. Now, the projectiles are relatively slow, but you do have to understand that if you continue firing, it will overheat. So you have to be careful. You can't just go pedal to the metal. Otherwise, you will have a costly downtime where you're trying to let it basically cool off before you can fire again. Now, the interesting part about this is that it is only obtainable from a care package. So what it means is that in the late game, or in these moments where things are a little slower, there will be a greater incentive for people to go and fight for the care packages when they drop. Whereas somebody may say, Kraber, Mastiff, yeah, they're great, but you know, I can get by without it. I've got a longbow, I've got a Peacekeeper, I've got an EVA 8, I feel good with those. The L-Star seems like it's going to be nothing like any other weapon in the game, and also extremely powerful. From the designers themselves, they said it was OP. So this will also encourage more aggressive play, which means more fun, I think, just more shooting and more activity and fighting in a game like this. The other thing about this L-Star is that it does open doors, and that's something that you usually only have melee and grenades able to do. So if you have this, it also acts as a utility. If someone's trying to camp in a house, you can spray it with the L-Star and throw a grenade right afterwards. You can time that out with your teammates. You don't have to waste utility in grenades in order to open that door first and then try to spray them down. A little cool aspect to that. It's a deadly LMG, really cool with it. Obviously, you guys have seen the footage. Let me know what you think about that in the comment section below. Are you super excited? Do you think the Massive Kraber is still your favorites? Let me know what's your preference, and let me know if you're excited to play that one out. The fourth thing that is, man, this is just incredible, guys. This might be one of the best changes. All the other ones are top tier changes, but there are a few other things that are coming that I really think rank higher than some of these other ones, and I think this might be the true test of Apex Legends and its longevity. Ranked. Oh my god, the Elite Queue, we thought this was the start of something beautiful, but they've taken it to the next level. Season 2 Apex Legends will have a new game mode called Ranked. Legends all over the world will be able to grind through 6 tiers to become the greatest legend in the ring, an Apex Predator, so to speak. These tiers, they're going to range from bronze, and they're going to go all the way up to Apex Predator, which is kind of the highest tier, so to speak. And at the end of the season, there's going to be some rewards based on that. They also mentioned that there will be special matchmaking, meaning that it will be skill-based matchmaking. Now, for those who don't know this or don't have an industry background, matchmaking exists in several ways. And in Battle Royales, a lot of the time, skill-based matchmaking is not used because there's so many players. The randomness of who's in that matchup ends up being how people are match made, and you just put numbers into the pool. However, if a game decides to do it, and people have said, is Fortnite doing this? Do they do it secretly? It's really not talked about, but Apex Legends is really coming out and saying, we are going to match you with better players. We're going to match you based on like we would in Counter-Strike or in Overwatch or in another thing with people who are at your level. So you will not only just be playing and getting higher rank, you will be beating better players and getting better experience. For those who want to grind Apex, for those who want to make this a career, who want to go pro, who want to be top tier pro level streamers or make content like that, this is the cue for you. It's really exciting, and it really takes Apex Legends longevity to another level. That's why I think it's more important. We're going to touch on that maybe in some other videos as well, but wanted to bring that to you. What do you think about the impact of ranked? And now we go into another change, which is good. It's not the best change here. I think all those other ones plus rank at the top, but this is probably the fourth best change, but it's still very solid as well. It's the new skins. There are new legendary skins coming up, 4 to be precise. There's one for Prince of Darkness Caustic, there's a Jade Tiger Octane, and there are 2 for, yeah, guys, the best weapons in the game, Spitfire and R301. And by the best, I mean, sure, there's going to be other weapons that might overwhelm them, might be better in certain instances. I'm sure I can't pry a wingman away from everyone in the meta right now, but Spitfire and R301 are so consistent, they're so fun to fire, they're so meaty when you use them and so effective at so many different situations. I think they picked the absolute best weapons to give skins in this new season. Take a look at them. They all look really cool, especially the one we got a preview of, the Iron Rampage and the Prince of Darkness. Those are really great skins. And one of the biggest things that they talked about to kind of go into our fifth thing here is the Battle Pass adjustments. Season 2, now they're adding weekly and daily challenges to grind up to the tier 100, and also they'll stack. So if you can't play for a while, one of the biggest concerns in Apex in the past, why people were frustrated, is not only the lack of content, not only the lack of really curated skins, but the Battle Pass was underwhelming. There's like no reason to play it. Plus, when you did play it, it took forever. So they've really listened to feedback. I did a great Rainbow Six event. That's why I was gone, guys. And one of the greatest things about Allied Esports and my crew there, who I love those guys, and everyone was great, is that they basically listened to feedback. There was a lot of acquired, learning throughout the event, and the event got better because they listened. And Apex and Respawn seem to be doing the exact same thing. So to me, this has given me even more confidence than I had in them before. You're going to get legendary items every 25 tiers in the Battle Pass. They get those 4 earlier skins, and there's 3 new types of content throughout the Battle Pass that are not quite mentioned yet, but I'm hoping they are voice lines. I'm hoping they are emotes, and maybe I don't know what else there could be, but you guys let me know what the third one will be. The badges and stat trackers, they're gone, which is pretty cool. I think you only get 1, and you'll get it in the first 10 levels, and then that'll kind of help track your status of the whole Battle Pass. And also 1,200 crafting materials, if you earn the 100 tiers, will mean you can get a legendary of your choice just for completing the Battle Pass. All pretty crazy cool stuff. And now here's where things get interesting. To finish off the video, they did talk about weapon and loadout changes in Season 2. So what you can expect. Obviously new balance, right? Because that's what they want to do. They want to make sure the bad weapons, the things that do not get kind of play, get a little bit more play in this new season. I think balance is great, coming from an industry background where we balance our games in Smite and Paladins maybe every few weeks. I feel like this is a really good thing for games, because sometimes you just get a meta that maybe it doesn't appeal to everyone, or maybe it appeals to these people. But if it constantly is changing enough, it not only keeps the veterans feeling like they have to adapt and grow and stay connected to the game, but it also gives people who maybe didn't enjoy the previous meta a reason to come back and try things out. And that is a really good, I think, way for Apex to just keep getting that community back, which I think has been very strong even from the beginning, though people said it wasn't. One of the big things, though, is that you see how in the latest patch they have this chucking animation of the Mozambique. Now they're saying there are going to be a couple new hop-ups, and one that could make the Mozambique useful. This is weird. This is one of those changes where I'm going to rank a little bit lower than all the others. Now, I really am excited to see the Mozambique be very useful. I'm excited to see that become a good weapon, but what would that do in the world of Apex for Mozambique to no longer be a meme? I mean, I just feel like my whole identity, like finding out that your father is really just like, you know, not. It's just, I don't know how to describe it. Like, it's like just a random homeless man that your mom found on the street, and he kind of like shows up in the evening after school and then goes home at night before, you know, after you fall asleep. It's like, what? You're not really my dad? I don't know. It's a bad analogy, but it would feel odd to be like owning people with a Mozambique. But I'm excited for it. It's just a change that I think can go either way. I think there is something to be said about a power curve in weapons. Finding a Mozambique makes finding that R301 even better. If everything is also great, maybe it devalues some of the good weapons that you have and some of that value of getting a really good weapon. There are a couple other things that have been data mined. I don't want to talk too much about them, and I will leave you with some of these things as well to think about. Conversation around a new map, conversation around changes to the game, but most importantly, one of my favorite changes is they are introducing story more and more to Apex Legends. And to round out this video, I want you guys to pay attention to this and leave a comment down below how you think the impact could be, because this, in my opinion, could be one of the best changes going on in the game. When you see that EA play trailer of Natalie Paquette Wattson, I felt moved. I felt like I understood through just the voice acting and this identity so much more about the story of Apex Legends. And they introduced this thing called the Syndicate, which I'm sure if you've been data mining really going hard, you probably knew about already. But the idea is that this is actually allowing us to look at these characters as people and to be more attached and to get more invested into this universe, which is already great and getting even better. One of the things that this has over Fortnite and this has over other games is that when you have a statistic, like a common, you know, mesh guy who just changes or girl who changes based on the skin you're wearing, you can't really build a story around them. You can't really build a lore. Sure, you can drop, you know, and change the map, but the map can only do so much. We connect with people, we connect with stories. That's what we are as a human race. And I feel like the fact that Apex Legends can bring those legends to life makes every release that much more epic and that much more engaging. And I really feel like Wattson is going to be a champion that changes the dynamic of what Apex Legends is and for many, many years to come. All right, that's it for me. I wanted to give you guys an update on what we know thus far. That should be it for now, plus the new patch that went out today. Guys, let me know if you enjoyed this video by leaving a like. That would be super helpful as well. I got to do a lot of things this week, so I don't know when I'll see you next, but comment down below what you like, what you're looking forward to, and what you want me to make a video on next for Season 2. All of these things coming up with more gameplay and more stuff here on Rain Day Gaming, so if you did enjoy and you appreciate this video and want more, subscribe. That's the best way for me to know that I should just keep on doing this and making more stuff that you guys enjoy. Thanks again so much for everybody's support. Love you guys, miss you guys, can't wait to see you in the next video, and as always, my friends, remember to never give up, never stop gaming, and I'll see you all next time.